And so we are continuing with the chapter that we were doing earlier, the 3.1. So today we are going to start with addressing the overconsumption of demerit goods. So demerit goods are the goods which are
Overvalued or
overvalued,
consumed. Yeah.
yes, and overconsumed,
So they'll be overproduced.
yes, by consumer, hence overproduced by producer. People lack proper information
Yes.
on demerit goods, which is why government needs to intervene. For example,
Cigarettes or alcohol. Um, yeah,
but
cigarette.
how government intervenes, the example should be of their
Oh,
intervention.
yeah, they put taxes. And
Mhm.
even on the, if there's like the packaging of cigarettes, they try to give like warnings about
Mm.
the health effects of that product, and then also they try to increase the prices. They kind of um, maybe they won't even provide subsidies for these products, so the producers might have to like raise prices.
Yes, yes. So basically, all the examples that you have talked about are correct. So, warning or graphic photographs, which you see on the packs of cigarette, is the example of this. Warning graphic photo on packs of cigarettes. Now, addressing the underconsumption of merit goods. So, first of all, what are merit goods?
Merit goods are the goods which are undervalued, underconsumed, and so they're underproduced by producers. Again, it can be because of information failure, but these are goods which are actually beneficial for the consumers.
Right. So these are the goods which are undervalued and underconsumed by consumer, hence underproduced by producer. For example,
Example can be like, yeah, healthcare,
mm,
education, then um,
many things come under the healthcare, like the vaccinations, the medicines. So these things can be, part of this.
yes, sir.
And there is provision from
Public, the is it?
private sector,
Yeah,
but to those who,
can afford it.
yes, only for those who can afford. You can write this part down first.
Yes, sir. Okay, so I'm done.
Okay, so now moving forward, we have this graph that we are going to make for the affordability of the merit goods, how the private sector is selling it and at what price, and what the government wants the private sector to do, or if the private sector is not doing so, how the government is going to fill that gap.
Yes,
So
sir.
if we have this demand curve, D naught, and the supply curve a bit higher,
Yeah.
S naught, this is the private supply curve,
Yes, sir.
and this is the price which the private sector is charging
Yes, sir.
for the merit goods. It's not like they do not produce it, but they produce it for those who can afford.
Yes, sir.
Now, the government is going to fill a gap by probably charging somewhere here. Right.
Yes, sir.
So this is the supply curve of the government.
Yes, sir.
And they want that the price should be here. So they are charging a very low price.
Yes, sir.
And this is the quantity which is being sold by the government.
Yes, sir.
Now, government believes that OY, sorry, I haven't marked OY should be reduced, but private sector,
Believes X should be produced.
yes, and they only provides till OX.
Yes.
Now the government will provide for those
To
who
maybe
cannot
convert
afford.
the prices of the.
Yes. So which is the area the government is supplying? How much
Um,
quantity the government is supplying?
so it'll be OX minus OY, right?
OX minus OY or OY minus OX?
Oh yeah, sorry. OY minus OX, yeah.
Yes. So you were doing negative productivity of government for the merit goods.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense.
So OY minus OX, and that is XY.
Yes, sir.
This is the difference that the government is going to fill, right?
Yes, sir.
So you can make this diagram, write the explanation, and then we'll move forward.
Okay, I'm done, sir.
Okay, now moving forward, controlling prices in markets. Now the government set,
Maximum and minimum prices.
yes, maximum price for certain goods. So maximum price
It's the
is
price which is set
mhm,
below the market price, lower than the market.
exactly. So seller cannot sell it legally at any price,
Which is higher than the maximum price.
yes, above the price set by the government. So this is to protect the low income groups.
Yes. So they can still have affordability, they can afford necessities.
Yes. So the purpose is to provide low cost housing and health services.
Yes.
For example, for
I
the
yeah,
needs, right? What
yes.
else?
I've heard that in during COVID the governments were subsidizing vaccines. So is that correct? Or is that a subsidy or is that the maximum price?
It's
So is
this
it
it's the subsidy.
okay.
You can call it for the strategic products probably.
Yes, sir.
Although, in order to when there is a disequilibrium caused by the maximum price, in order to remove that disequilibrium, government usually provide the subsidies. So that is one way of doing it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you once you're done with this, then I'm going to make the graph.
Okay, I'm done, sir.
Right. So maximum price for the needs for some of the married goods.
Yes, sir.
So here we have the demand D naught and the supply S naught.
So you can show equilibrium price and quantity first, and then below it would be the maximum price ceiling.
Yes. So now the maximum price that they have set is below the equilibrium.
Yes, sir.
Here the supply will be less and the demand will be more.
Yes, sir.
Here, there is the quantity supplied and the quantity demanded. So, supply is less than the demand,
Yes.
meaning
Yeah, sure.
shortage, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, the other concept is of the
Minimum price.
minimum.
So this is the price which is set above the market price.
Yes, this is set by the government above equilibrium and firms are not legally allowed,
To sell for a price below this price.
yes, to charge lower than that. Okay, so this is for discouraging producers and consumers.
Yes, sir. It's usually for like demerit goods, and then basically harmful goods for which is like yeah, harmful goods for the community basically.
Yes, from reducing
And consuming or purchasing.
mm, the demerit goods. Right. Sometimes the government also set the minimum price for something else as well, some other purpose too, other
Oh,
than
it's
demerit.
for the buffer stock schemes, right? To protect farmers' incomes. Don't discuss.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes. So what they are doing is that they raise the
prices. They basically buy the supply, so the supply is lesser than the demand, and then they raise the price so that the farmers' incomes can be protected.
exactly to support farmers. In this way, as you said, the farmer income is protected. Right.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, this is going too down. Okay, first you can do this.
Okay, I'm done, sir.
Okay. So here we have the demand curve D naught and the supply curve S naught. And we have the equilibrium price and
Equilibrium point.
equilibrium quantity. Minimum price is above the equilibrium
Yes, sir.
with the
Because
supply here
here
and demand
supply is
here.
going to be more than
So what is it called?
surplus.
Surplus. Is the quantity demanded, and here's the
Quantity
quantity
supply.
supplied. Very nice. So price is basically increased here. Yes, we can do this and then we'll move to the next chapter.
I'm done, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's just move on
Yes, sir.
to the new chapter.
Yes, sir.
This is 3.2 methods and effect of government intervention. Right. So first of all, the impact of incidence of specific indirect taxes.
Yes, sir.
So what is indirect tax?
Indirect tax is basically charged to the producers. But it's like the producers can choose if they want to put like the burden on the consumers. Even consumers have to bear some of the burden of the tax. But it is paid towards the producers, but they put that burden on the consumers. Like for example, VAT, and then what is it called? Yeah, GST.
Hmm.
Um, then
Excise duties, custom
yeah,
duties. So tax on goods and services, including the custom duties, excise duties, sales tax, value added tax, all of these.
yes, sir.
Here, the tax burden can be shifted
To the consumers.
to third party because the first party is the government, second party is the producer, and the third party is the consumer.
Oh yeah, yes.
So charging higher price. What is the nature of the indirect tax?
Mm, so what do you mean by nature? Like,
Is it progressive, proportionate, regressive?
okay, if I have to think, I feel like it's progressive
Okay, how?
because I feel like indirect tax, like the burden which is gonna like come on the consumers, the producers are not going to check their income level. It's going to be like they will have that specific price for all of their consumers, so they're not going to try to see the impact that it has on the consumers and if they can afford it. So I feel like because of that, it's progressive.
What is a progressive tax?
Am I mixing progressive and regressive?
No, no. First, tell me what is the progressive tax?
Progressive tax, it's the tax which is charged. My textbook, it's the tax which is charged to people on higher incomes.
So not on the lower income. You are not going to charge on the lower income.
I'm not sure about that, but I feel like in my textbook is written that they basically do that to reduce income inequality.
Hmm. So they are charging from the rich and not from the poor.
Yeah.
Now, when I say progressive, it means that when your income is higher, the tax that will be charged will be higher.
Yes, sir.
Higher the income, higher the tax. Regressive is higher the income, lower the tax,
Yes, sir.
right? So the
Yeah.
more income you earn, the lesser will be the tax. That is regressive. And
Yes.
progressive is when your income is higher, you are going to be charged a higher tax.
Yes, sir.
Now you know the difference.
Yeah.
Now tell me that indirect tax, is it progressive in nature or regressive?
I feel like it's. I mean, I don't know. In my eyes, I feel like it depends on the product. Like, for example, if it is a product which is meant for people on high incomes, then it's going to be progressive. But if it's a product which is like the um customers are the ones, the target market is the one that does not have higher incomes, I feel like then it's going to be regressive. But in general, if I have to say, um, I'm not sure about general, but like,
Mhm. Okay, I tell you one thing. First, you need to clear some points. One is that progressive taxation is when higher the income, higher will be the tax charged.
yes, sir.
Lower the income, lower will be the tax charge. This usually happens with the direct taxes, where the
Okay.
taxes are charged on the income of people.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense.
So if you are earning, let's say, $500, so tax will be less.
Yes,
If
sir.
you're earning $1,000, so tax will be higher.
Yes,
If you
sir.
go beyond, it will be much higher. And higher does not mean the same percentage. The percentage will also change.
Yes, sir.
With 500, you might only be paying off the tax of $50.
Yeah,
With 1,000 income, you might be paying not $100 because in that way it will be proportionate.
exactly. Yes, sir.
You are being charged probably $120,
Yes, sir.
right? More than the double. So that is the progressive tax. Regressive is when your income is high, you are paying a lesser tax. Your income is lower, you are paying a higher tax.
Yes, sir.
Let's say in regressive, a person is earning $500 and he's paying $50 a tax.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A person who is paying a person who is earning $1,000, he's paying $70 tax.
Yes, sir.
So the amount of tax deducted reduced in terms of the even the percentage out of the total income.
Exactly. Yes, sir.
Now, although this progressive and regressive are not directly related to the indirect tax.
Yes,
Why?
sir.
Because when you want to do more equality, you want to reduce the inequality in the economy. So
Yes, sir.
how you do it is through the direct taxes,
Yes,
that you
sir.
charge more tax from the rich and less from the poor. And the money that you get, one thing is that the difference in the income will reduce in this way between the
Yes, sir.
rich and poor,
Yeah.
even though slightly, but still. And then government is going to use all that money taken from the rich and redistribute among the poor. Like
Exactly.
redistribution doesn't mean like that they are going to take the tax of $50 and then distribute among the poor people. No, they are going to facilitate the poor people.
Yes, sir.
They will build their own institutions where the poor people can work.
Yeah.
They will be providing them with the subsidies, the lower price for the health services, for the education, so all those things.
Yes, sir.
Now, when we talk about the indirect tax, there is no direct motive that you see that you can keep indirect taxes as progressive. You can't keep them progressive.
Yes.
Why? Because if there is a pack of biscuits
Yes, sir.
and the poor go and buy it and the rich is going and buying it, the tax charged on that biscuit is probably going to hurt the poor more than the rich.
Yes, sir.
That is why it is regressive in nature.
Yes, sir.
You understand the point?
Yeah.
So it is regressive in nature because let's say if somebody who is buying a sports car and they are paying, let's say, $5,000
Yes,
for
sir.
that car, so they might be charged, let's say, $500 on that.
Yes, sir.
That is not going to hurt somebody who is already paying $5,000 to buy a product.
Yeah. Exactly.
On the other hand, somebody, let's suppose a poor person who is buying a vehicle like a bike, a motorbike, and
Yes.
if it costs him $500 in comparison to the $5,000 car,
Yeah.
and he is paying, let's say, only $100 as, or even if the $50,
Yes, sir.
the same proportionate rate even, still that is going to be more burdening for the poor than the rich.
Yes, sir.
So that is the reason why indirect taxes are regressive in nature, because the burden of tax is heavier on the poor
Yes.
rather than the rich.
Yeah.
Do you understand this concept?
Yes, sir.
So this is regressive. Indirect tax is regressive in nature. So the burden is heavier on the poor rather than
The rich.
rich. Can indirect taxes be avoided? Can
I
you
don't.
avoid paying the indirect tax?
I don't think so because it's something which has been imposed by the government. So it's probably illegal to not pay.
No, that's a separate debate that whether it is illegal. So it means that you can avoid it. You're trying to say that.
No, I don't. No, I don't think you can avoid it.
Yes.
You can't avoid
So,
it.
your book gives a very, your book gives a point that you can avoid the indirect tax. But that is a very lame reason.
Yeah,
You know why? Because they say that it can be avoided only by not buying the product.
but what if you need the product? Like it's a necessity. Then what
Then
does
you
it
have to
sense?
ask your book. This is a very lame reason. Obviously, you're not going to be charged for the tax if you're not buying the product. So that is the only way to, evade the tax when it comes to
Exactly.
indirect taxes.
Yeah.
But direct taxes can be evaded. Because direct taxes are on the income of people and on the profits of the company. So specifically, when I talk about on the profits of the company, so the government officials who come to take the tax and calculate and do all that stuff sometimes.
Yes,
So
sir.
they have to make the books and they have to see the books of the company.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you could probably bribe him.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've read about this. I've read about
Yeah.
this.
So
Yeah.
you can bribe him and pay lower taxes. And
Yeah.
tax evasion is something which is very common, especially
Yeah.
in the developing countries,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, sir.
O- Okay, so now moving forward to the next part, the impact of imposition of indirect tax on the supply curve. First thing that we are going to study is the impact depends on specific tax and ad valorem tax.
Yes, sir.
What is a specific tax?
Is this talking about like things like inheritance tax, stuff like that? Is this talking about that? Because that's a specific tax only for the like wealthy, right? So is this talking about that?
It can also be on the excise duties are, one form of the specific tax,
Yes, sir.
and that is on the product, not on the wealth.
Yeah.
We are here talking about the indirect tax. We are not talking about a direct tax. Indirect tax, bete, who you consider the wealth, the property, the assets, the income, the profits. So we are here only going to talk about specifically about the indirect taxes on the product. So
Okay.
specific tax, when we say that is a type of an indirect tax
Yes, sir.
that is fixed per unit charged and it leads to parallel shift leftwards. So I give you an example, the excise duties, which US also charges the excise duties on the packs of cigarettes, and that is they have a
Ye-
specific tax, whatever the amount you buy, no matter the number of cigarettes you buy, on one pack, they have a specific tax of $3.5 or so.
Yes, sir.
That is a specific tax, a fixed tax that you have to pay.
Yes, sir.
On the other hand, the ad valorem tax is the tax charged as given percentage of price. If you are buying a higher value of product,
Yes, sir.
If you're buying a high value product, so higher
Tax. Not below.
will be the tax charged.
Yes, sir.
Low value product, lower tax will be charged.
Yes, sir.
Now, what I want from you is this is an activity for you. Can you make the diagrams of specific tax and ad valorem tax? Try doing this.
Okay, sir. So I sent you the graph for the specific tax, but I really don't know how to make the ad valorem tax. I've never
Okay.
made a graph for that one.
Awesome. Gotcha. So you have sent me the I haven't received it. Okay, I have. So you have sent me for the specific.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You don't need to make the demand curve here.
Okay. I just got confused of how to show the price properly, so that's why I made a
No, no, no,
graph.
no need. No need for that. So you have this supply curve. S1 naught, and you have this tax charge, which is
So if I want to show the space between them both is the tax charge. The space between the two curves.
this is the tax, no?
Yes, sir.
So this is basically showing the tax, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
this space is basically showing the value of tax
Yes, sir.
remains same at all output levels. Whatever the output levels, the value of the tax remains the same, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, on the other hand, whether you are, you are buying a product of, you need to understand that if you're buying a product at this price, you buy the product at this price, you buy the product at this price, the rate of tax is going to remain same. This was it, this was it, this was it, and all of this is same.
Yes, sir.
When you're talking about ad valorem tax, so you are saying that higher the price of the product, higher will be the tax, right?
Yes, sir.
So if you are making a supply curve, which is this
Yes, sir.
S naught, and then you are making a supply curve, shifting it to left, and this is going to be like this,
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. That makes sense.
So lower the price of the product, at a lower price, you're paying a lower tax.
Yeah.
At a higher price, you're paying a higher tax. At a very high price,
You're
you're
paying
paying
very
even
high.
higher. Yeah, so the tax is high, and here the tax is low,
Okay, that makes sense.
right?
Yes, sir.
So this basically explains. You haven't done this in class?
No, sir. It's my first time seeing this graph.
Okay, that is surprising.
Yeah.
Value of tax increases
As price increases.
with increase in price. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Great. Now you can make this.
Okay, I'm done, sir.
Okay, great. So what we will do, because the topic now is all interconnected,
Yes, sir.
and that is about the imposition of the indirect tax, which we'll do in our Friday's class, right?
Yes, sir.
So we'll do this, and inshallah, I'll try that we do the maximum in the next class. Right.
Sure, sir. Yes.
So you have any question till now, you can ask me.
Till now, no, not really.
And this topic that you haven't done, many MCQs comes from this, the specific and ad valorem tax. They can ask
Yeah.
you to identify the tax
That's
type.
why I'm really bad at this topic because I have like a few gaps because I have
Mhm.
self-studied this, but also I can't really research every small thing, so it's like confusing. But now it's fine.
But now you have understood this topic, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's